Hello everyone, happy Saturday. I know it's a random one, but hey, why not? I didn't do the live last night because I was a little bit knackered after Beer X. Loads more of that in a bit. Yeah, I just needed a rest. I was absolutely done in. My feet even knacker now. Honestly, my feet are totally done in. Yeah, great week. Absolutely fantastic week. David Wilson's in. Hello, mate. Straight off the bat. Hi, Mark. Hi, all. There we go. It says hi, all. I don't think there's many people in at the moment, David. It's quite a random one. How are you, good sir? How are you? Yeah, what a week at BeerX then. What a week at BeerX. Yeah, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Laughs non-stop. Honestly, my stomach still hurts from laughing so much with the boys. It was absolutely mega. Obviously, yeah, met Simon and Paul for the first time in the week. I'd met John once before, but yeah, Liverpool, what a city! The people are amazing, the city's amazing, the beer. Well, there we go. With the beer reviews, Thomas. Hello, everyone. Hi, Thomas. How you doing, mate? And as always, he's asking you to like and share if you can. It's quite a random one. I'm not begging for likes, but it's quite a random one. So if the more you like it, the more it pushes it out there. Because I haven't really done much. I don't know. I haven't really told many people about it. So if you could like the stream, that'd be amazing. Mark Farrell says, "Hey, babe. I know Mark. He's from Keswick in the Lake District. Good old boy. Absolute legend." Trilby Full says, "Hello, Mark. Hello, Trilby. How you doing, mate?" Dave Wilson is good. Thanks. How's the wife and Nipper? Yeah, they're really good. Thank you. I think the wife was probably happy to get rid of me for another 3 nights. I kept on John's sofa for 2 of those nights. And then we were in the Premier Inn in Liverpool Central just for a night over Beer-X. Hi, Thomas. I feel, hello, Trilby. Hello, David, says Trilby. But yeah, Beer-X. Well, I didn't really have much of an expectation, if I'm honest. It was a trade event. So obviously what we do, or I say what we do, when you review beer and you talk about beer, generally it's after all the clever stuff's happened and we just pay 2 or 3 quid and we get the best bit about it, you know. But yeah, amazing to like kind of look behind the curtains of the brewing world. Bumped and rubbed shoulders with some pretty big heads in the brewing world. People from like well-known places like Cloudwater, Quantock Brewery, big boys. Saw some amazing bits of equipment. Talked British hops as well. Actually, I know a lot of people aren't really interested in beer that come in there. They're just like a natter. But if you are interested in beer, yeah, the British hop scene, it's going to go mad. It's going to go mad. It looks like, speaking to a couple of the hop purveyors that were there, it looks like it's going to be big. We're now producing American style hops in Britain to the standard that we were getting from America. So yeah, really exciting for the beer world. Chris says, up the Chelsea. Hope you're good, Mark. Not staying, mate. I'm just watching the football, but I hope you're good, mate, and enjoy your weekend. Chris, thanks for dropping in, mate. I appreciate that. But but the best bit about it, right? The best bit about it, obviously, all around it was kind of like it had like a core. It was actually called the core. It was like an area in the middle. And that was where the best bit happened. But all around the outside was all these tray stands. And you just got, obviously, John. I was with John from Lord's Brewing. He knew a load of people. Simon from Real Ale Craft Beer was with him as well. He knew a load of people, as did Paul from Paul's Beer Reviews. So we're kind of walking around. Everyone's going, "Hello, mate. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah." So I'm sort of chatting to all these people, which is really cool because I'm new on the scene around here. And you just be chatting to them, and they'd have like a fridge full of Daya. SVV, they do all the brewing systems. It's an amazing brewing system that Quantock Brewing are just going to take delivery of on Monday. All in one brewing system. Amazing, like genuinely amazing. It should be for about, I can't remember what they said now, what it was. It was hundreds of thousands of pounds. And we're just nattering with them. They're getting the Dayas out the fridge, the Lakes Brewing, Strangest Brewing or something, a new brewery. They're just launching beers at you. Seeing that in a way, and you're getting a bit pissed. And, you know, obviously they're not interested in talking to us, but they did though. I mean, it was mega. Obviously they're there to sell stuff, but they just wanted to talk to plebs like us, even when we said like we just sort of talk about beer and review beer online. But the middle bit, this is the bit that I want to talk about, right? The middle bit, there was about 7 or 8 of these bars in a circle. All well, obviously it's an exhibition centre. They're all temporary, and each bar was a region of the UK. So we had like Scotland, Wales, Southwest, Southeast, you know, and so on. Each bar had between 20 and 30 beers on it, and a pint. Well, they sold them in thirds. A third ticket was £1.10. So you're drinking 2/3 of beer for £2.20, and that was across the board. So whether it was a 3.5% best bitter or a 10% imperial stout from Loch Lomond, that's one that Paul had. Really enjoyed it. £2.20. So you're getting absolutely sloshed, and you're kind of filling in with all these other beers that are flying around. Really, really good time. Yeah, it was mega. David says, "Hi, Chris." Dave Wilson says, "Did you arrange any beers for the beer festival you help organise?" Oh, I did. Well, not so much arrange beers because the brewing schedules are still a bit all over the place, but certainly talked to. I did bump into Ampersand Brewing Company. They're my local brewery. They were up there, eyeing up on some new bits of kit. Bull of the Woods Brewing, who were like just down the road from me, they were in there too. I didn't see them. They were there on day one, and I didn't even know they were there. It's a big old place. And then spoke to a new brewery called Artifact Brewing. Now they're about 15 miles that way, and they do like kind of mixed firm stuff. I think they won an. I think they won an award for the Kvike Black IPA. They don't brew normal beers, but yeah, I had a chat with those guys. They're literally just about to go full time with it. That's Artifact Brewing. I believe you can buy their beers on their website. Not expensive. But yeah, I suppose, David. Yeah, I kind of talked about the beer fest quite a bit. But yeah, still waiting for the beers to go, brewing schedules to be sorted. But yeah, just great event. Obviously, we met up with Roller Coaster Ride, who's a subscriber that's normally seen on Simon's channel, and Captain Meats, who's just seen everywhere. Captain Meats Adventures, I'm sure you know those guys. They took us out in Liverpool. More Captain Meats actually took us out in Liverpool. Roller Coaster Ride was just enjoying the ride. Yeah, we went to a place called like Head of Steam, which had like, apparently they're a chain, but they had Brew York Tap Takeover, and there was Top Rope Brewing in there and stuff. And then we went to this place. I can't remember what it was called. It was called like the Handyman or something. It was called the Handyman. It was a really cool brew pub, brew bar in an old kind of hardware shop. So it was all the old bare brick walls, paint scarred, like the old Hammer, the old Hammer brand painted on the wall, but it's all kind of worn off. Really cool vibe in there. And to be fair, by the time I left there, I couldn't even talk. I was hiccuping, and I was a bloody nightmare. So yeah, that was Captain Meats. Roller Coaster Ride came with us, obviously, to that one. And then it was Paul and John. Simon ducked out early because he'd been sampling beers all day. I think he was pretty knackered, probably quite pissed. But yeah, bloody hell. Liverpool, what a city. What a city. But yeah, David says, here we go. He's been to Head of Steam in Brum. Nice selection of stuff usually. Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't normally go for those like chainy pub kind of places. I normally like sort of tuck my head around the corner and see what's around there. But Head of Steam was brilliant. The food was cracking as well. This like really hot burger, like jalapenos and cheese hanging out every orifice of the burger. That was really, really good. But yeah, we didn't even scrape the surface. Like we were walking along, we were going to review. If you've seen the Real Ale Craft Beers channel, he's just released a video today with John from Lords, and we were walking along, and we had a couple of beers in our backpack from the previous day, and I'd literally washed a glass out with a clean sock because it's rank in it. Like we wanted to. I had a glass, and yeah, I had to wash it anyway, and we were like, no, we can't drink out of this. So we were bumbling along, all in the docks. Like, it's beautiful, honestly, so beautiful. The old dock buildings that are now restaurants and cool pubs and bars and stuff, with people like paddling around and boats in them and stuff. Really, really cool. And we just bumped into this guy, and he had a bar. And we were like, mate, can we just nick a couple of glasses? We want to just do a beer review. Simon had a chat with him. Next thing you know, he's like, mate, we've got a Colonel Tap Takeover down here. He was like, come sample some of my beers. Don't worry about the ones you've got. So he gave us free samples, bless him. Absolute legend. Like I said, I can't remember the name of it. I should remember the name of this bar. But if you go to Real Ale Craft Beers, Simon's channel, it's on there. It's the latest video. And yeah, just what a legend. Absolutely lovely, lovely people in Liverpool. And the bar was amazing. It's all, you kind of go down a level. It's all in the old brick vaulted ceilings. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, but we stumbled across that. I mean, we didn't even scrape the surface of what Liverpool's got to offer because most of the beer we drank was in the exhibition centre. But yeah, really cool city, Liverpool. It's kind of, I got back, I walked to my front door yesterday, and I said to my wife, I was like, we got to go there, April. I was like, we got to go. But yeah, met some of the subscribers. More Simon's more than mine. But yeah, had some good chats with like Colchester Brewing. Young lad there, brewer there, absolute legend of a lad. I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names, as you probably are well aware. Good chats with Contact Brewing, like Vale Labels randomly talked to us about like beer branding, and they do all the labels for Quantock, like Utopian. Charles Farham Hop Purveyors, and we spoke to Yakima Chief, and Yakima Chief were tapping off fresh beer whilst we were having a natter. Yeah, education central, but we got pissed whilst doing it. It was really, really good. Right, we've got a few people in. Let us know if you're in the chat. Come and say hello. What are you drinking today? I have got a Black Iris blonde unfiltered lager, organic lager. It's really, really good, actually. David says, yeah, perhaps take a notebook next time. Honestly, David, that is a shout, because half the stuff I've forgotten already. There was just so much going in, and you're having beers as well, and then every sip you have, you lose a bit of information out the top. It's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, great. Obviously, like I said, met Paul for the first time. What a bloke he is! Just just a lovely bloke. Obviously met John again. He's just a lovely bloke, isn't he? And then obviously Simon as well. He's as mad as he is on the live streams. He's exactly the same as he is in the live streams in real life. But yeah, really, really, really good week. Really good week. And then yeah, had a dodgy pizza. When was that? Thursday night. Ended up yakking up in John's toilet, didn't I? I got my stomach cramps with that. Oh. Had it upstairs, straight in, giving it all of that, yakking up. Horrible, absolutely horrible. But no, didn't tarnish the week at all. David says Paul and John are awesome. He doesn't follow Simon. Yeah, Paul and John are awesome, mate. They're all awesome. We met some amazing people. Honestly, absolutely amazing people. Just yeah, it was just wall to wall. Even like like I say, all these people like selling stuff and that, they just wanted to talk to you. You know, they wanted to talk to you. Really, really nice people. Kind of sad to leave Liverpool, actually. It was only done one night there. Like I say, we were kind of in on Wednesday morning. We stayed the night Wednesday, and then we were out again Thursday. Oh my God. We left Liverpool, obviously St. Patrick's night, which is apt because that's just gone green and that's just changed to blue. St. Patrick's night, Liverpool, 20 to 8, sorry, going to the train station, PM. I'm not joking. It was like Ibiza at 4 a.m. There were people everywhere. There were drunk people staggering around, falling over. We got to the Wetherspoons in the train station before 8 o'clock, and that was like, it was like midnight on a Saturday night. People singing. It was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Liverpool's close vicinity to Ireland. A few of the people were saying there that they, a lot of Irish come over to Liverpool for the night out. Yeah, it was mega. Our hotel was right on the Irish sort of strip, the bar, like where all the Irish bars are. But yeah, they were ramo. Honestly, people outside, like it was like crowds of people huddling around the bar to get in. It was insane. Absolutely insane. And then, so I know Simon talked about it last night on his live, but we get to the hotel, check in on Wednesday. It's like, lads, how are we going to get to the exhibition centre? How are we going to get to the exhibition centre? It was like, well, we've got these scooters outside. So we looked at the app, Voi, VOI or something, Voi. One of these like city scooters, the ones that are like quite controversial because if you own one, it's illegal, but you can ride one in the city sort of thing. Not really going to get into that. So we loaded them up. It was like easy. It was like we had to send like photos of ourselves and our driver's licenses and stuff. And then it was like, boom, that one's unlocked. Scanned it, open. And mate, they are rapid. Like they are fast. Like I kicked off. You have to like kick off and then you push this little button and off you go. So we're all flying along. Simon's in his like, he was doing it in like a button-up shirt and a blazer. His hair's going everywhere and zooming around Liverpool. And then we take this turning. Like buses were going up there and that. So we thought, well, we'll go up there and follow the bus route because it was like, oh, you have to put your driving license in because you have to follow road rules and everything like that. All of a sudden, they die. Without warning. No noise or anything. They just die. Next thing you know, we're like, oh, we'll just stick them to the side of the path because we don't want to be dragging this everywhere. No, can't park it there. Got to go and park it in like a designated area. We kicked them. We must have gone half a mile, like kicking 15, 20 kilo scooter along. We got to Beerex. We were sweat dripping, big old achy legs, walking Beerex like we'd just run there. But they were, honestly, those scooters were fun. But yeah, they were fun for about 5 minutes, and then we had to push them. David Wilson says, "Sounds great. Got a Brew London ticket yet?" I did speak with Mr. John at Lord's, and I think he's sorting me one out. I think he's exhibiting again this year. I think he exhibited. I didn't go to Brew London last year, so I'm kind of trying to scrape information from the lives I saw. But I think he's exhibiting, and he gets exhibitor passes. So I'll probably, as a thank you, do a shift on the bathroom. If he wants me to. Might not want my ugly mug on there. You never know. But yeah, David, I think I will be at Brew London. I'm almost certain I will. But obviously, John sorted me out a ticket. I don't want to say, yeah, I'll be there. And then obviously, it doesn't work out. David says, I'm expecting you to serve me a beer on the Lord's stand. Mate, I will. I'll be well up for it. I don't know what he's going to have. I don't know what he's got lined up. I know he's got a couple. I know he's got a new one coming. I know he's got a new one. I tasted it out of the tank. He's got a new what is it? I don't want to say actually. I don't want to say. I don't want to spoil it for him. But I know he's got a new one coming out. Because like I say, had it in the tank. I think it had another. I think it was coming out. I think it was getting kegged up on Monday. But yeah, so I'd imagine that's going to be there. But yeah, no, I mean, John was like loving it, talking to all the people. Like spoke about loads of things, like top to bottom brewery stuff. He was absolutely loving it at Beerex. But yeah, Liverpool was insane, like really, really good. Yeah, just videos, and I've got my Beerex video coming out in the next couple of days. I've got to edit it. It shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it was just an immense week, and now I am knackered. I had to work today because I should have worked yesterday, but I got Tom Dick in John's toilet, didn't I? So I didn't want to come home and. Yeah. But yeah, really, really good weekend with some amazing people. It was really, really good. Right. Let us know you're in, everybody. We've got a few people in, and all I can see is David Wilson. Not that's a bad thing, David. But get in the comments. Let me know what you're drinking. Like I say, I've got a Black Iris Blonde that I'm just about to finish. Really quite nice, actually. I'm getting my taste buds back now, actually. It was quite difficult at Beerex because the lads would be like, do you want to taste this beer? And I'd be like, all I can really taste is that it's sweet and it's, I couldn't really get anything. But yeah, I'm excited to get my taste buds back. That is for sure. And my nose as well. Just can't smell a thing. Cannot smell a thing. But we have got a few people turning up today, I believe. Maybe one or two. I won't mention. Well, yeah, no. I'll say I think Paul's beer reviews. He's at work at the moment. I think he was going to jump on, and he might even be doing a little live later. But I'll let him talk about that. David Wilson says, not started yet, had enough. David, did you say you cracked your first beer at 11? Well, you had the day off. Was it on Crummy stream? You said you had the day off and then you cracked a beer early. Was it 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock? I can't remember, but yeah, let us know, mate. But yeah, I didn't touch a drop yesterday. Got home and I was like, no, hell no, I'm not doing it. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Sorry, pardon me. I looked in my beer box. I've got this massive wooden box of beer, and I looked in the beer box, and there was those 0% Bavaria beers and those nanny state beers, the alcohol stuff, alcohol-free stuff that I'd done a couple of months ago. I was like, you know what? If I'm cracking a beer, it's going to be one of them. I can't do it to myself. Tom Stocks, hello, mate. He says, fantastic weather earlier, mate. I've got the blind shut, so this light show kicks off. But, mate, it's still good here. Still really good here. Where were you from, Tom? Yorkshire somewhere, wasn't it? But yeah, yeah, the weather's amazing here. Absolutely amazing. I didn't even know whether to do the live or not because I think a lot of people would be in beer gardens, but you know what? It doesn't necessarily matter how many people are in. I just like talking to you. David Wilson says, I'd started at midday when Sandbrook tap room opened. Sandbrook? Ooh, I've not heard of Sandbrook. Nice beers and great pizza too. Yeah, beer and pizza. Beer and a wood-fired pizza, mate. Name a better duo, please. better than Giggs and Beckham, that's for sure. Tom Stock says, drinking sesh lager tonight. Didn't drink much of anything yesterday or Thursday. Oh, he's had a couple of nights off. He's primed and ready to go. Maybe a bit for the boxing later. Eddie's the world's strongest man fight, isn't it? David says, hi, Tom Stocks. He says, yes, he lives in East Yorkshire. I'll probably bumble past you. Would I? On the A1? Would I have gone past you on the A1? Maybe. But yeah, I kind of stayed at John's in Huddersfield and then skirted down. But yeah, I bet his poor old Lydia, John's wife, I bet she needed us, me and Paul farting and trumping in his lounges. He's got like a front and back lounge as John. And yeah, we were trumping away and all that, yeah. I bet she needed it, bless her. Oh, she done us dinner on Wednesday. Meat pie. Honestly, you know when you have a meat pie and all the gravy and that falls out and the pie goes. This was like solid. You cut it. There was so much meat in it. It just stood up, and you had to put gravy on top. You Northerners know how to do a good pie. That is for sure. Tom Stocks says, met a lass yesterday, all shagged out. Good old boy. Yeah, fair play, mate. We won't go further than that. It's before 10 o'clock. Tom Stocks says, possibly. Yeah, I probably did, mate. Probably breaking the speed limit, going past your house. David Wilson says, who do you think will win the fight? Hoping doesn't get too out of hand. Oh, yeah, it's Eddie Hall and 4, isn't it? I want to say Eddie Hall. He's the man, isn't he? He's such I think on his social medias and stuff, he comes across as such a lovely bloke. I don't know much about this store geezer, if I'm honest. I don't really watch World's Strongest Man. Eddie Hall's like a bit of a celebrity, isn't he? But yeah, I want Eddie Hall to get it. It'll be good for his profile as well. He's a nice guy. Didn't come from very much, I don't think, did he? So he's earned his chance. Actually, is it pay-per-view? Could be pay-per-view. Pay-per-view? Could be pay-per-view, actually. Which is a bit... But I do understand it. Right, next beers. I've just got a selection. There's like a shelf here. I've got some other black oil stuff. Actually, no. I'm going to go for this. A pint can of Arbor Massive Azak. A 3-hop New England Pale Ale. Why not? Tom Stock says, how was the festival? Imagine with it being a corporate, a lot of business deals going. Yeah, it was very businessy, mate. Obviously, a lot of breweries, they're looking at new kit. Hot purveyors, a lot of people trying to sell canning machines to brewers, and it was more of a brewers event, really. But what there was over 100. I'm going to get my maths right. Well over 100 beers for sale, Tom. In the middle bit, which is called the core, and it was like made up of 7 or 8 different bars, and each bar had between 20 and 30 beers in it. Yeah, it was good, and it was third pint tokens. You could have you could go up to thirds or 2/3 really serving, but a 2/3 was £2.20 and a third was £1.10. Yeah, it was good, mate. Thank you. David says it's free, but you think you need an app, right? I'll have to have a look. Is it Dazn, DAZN, or Dazn or something, mate? Is that what it's on? Because they're getting a bit of boxing now, aren't they? Is it Dazn? Anyway, I'll have to have a little look because I think Paul might be doing something like a bit of a watch along, but I'll have to see about like I say, he'll talk to you more about that. I don't want to talk him into something he's not doing. Tom Stock says sweet, yeah, mate. It was good, really, really good. Got loads of beer, got given loads and loads of beer. Bought, drunk a lot of it. Bought 4 cans home. I got a really cool. I think it's a new beer. It's from Brew York called Sham Pale Supernova, and the can wraps all Oasis and like mod. It's really cool. That'll be coming to the channel really soon. Tom Stock says, yeah, nice. So you could taste test like 20 to 30 beers, lol. An hour. I reckon I drunk over the weekend. I didn't really have over the weekend, Jesus. I reckon over the weekend I tasted 40 odd beers. I didn't ever like duplicate. But I had some bangers, mate. I had some not so good stuff, but I had some absolute bangers. One of the best ones I had actually was from the Crummy Beard's favourite brewery, Blue Monkey. They'd done an amaretto stout, and it smelt marzipan, sweet almond, amaretto smell. It smelled amazing. Then you drunk it, and it was really subtle and smooth. Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, really cool. Tom Stock says, "Now that sounds interesting. You love Oasis, yeah, mate. I saw the can wrap. The geezer was like, "Do you want a Juice Forsyth?" And I was like, "I've had that millions of times out of Morrison's." And he said, "Do you want a Nuba?" And I've had that before, that New England IPA or Pale, whatever it is. And then he was like, I've got this other one here, a Champagne Supernova. I was like, that's mate, oh please. But it was well cool. You just rock up to the stands, talk to people, and the next thing you know, you got a day of beer in your hand, or a Lakes Brewing, or a Brew York. It was well good, mate. I'm struggling because I bite my nails to open this beer. You don't want me to do this, Tom. You got to do karaoke Oasis live whilst you drink it, mate. You do not want me doing that. There we go. You don't want me doing that at all, mate. But yeah, I probably should do, shouldn't I? I've got a bit of voice on me as well. I haven't, so. But no, it was really, really good. Filmed a bit as well. It was more sort of Instagrammy stuff. Did get a video together, done like a Beer X video, little walk around, couple of beer tastings, some chats with Paul, Simon, and John. So yeah, that'll be coming out. I just got to edit it. I don't know. I'm all right at editing videos. It's just time, isn't it? Like work today, then tomorrow's off, but obviously we've got to do stuff in the garden because it's a nice weekend. So yeah, we'll see, mate. We'll see. I probably will get it out tomorrow. Boom. But yeah, we're still in this room actually. I've got to still got to do the studio swap over. Nightmare. Yeah, Tom, of course you know because of that Instagram channel, didn't you? He says editing is tedious. Yeah, mate. I'm like skiing video man when we go skiing. So just like you have to watch about 4 hours of footage to get a 10-minute video. It's a nightmare. Jack Howard says, "Oi, what's this? Me on your screen or phone, or phone's got screens on your phone or TV, my friend. How are you, Jack? How are you, good sir?" Tom Stocks is just banging the clips together, job done. That's what I should do, mate. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I'm like, oh, don't like that. And then the next thing you know, I've spent 17 hours on a 10-minute video. That smells amazing. David Wilson says, "Hi, Mr. H and Jack Howard." Oh, hi, Mr. H at Jack Howard, the Suffolk Viking. Neither. You're on my tablet, you swine. But yeah, what's everybody been up to today? I was working today. I got up, had to shoot. Actually, down your neck of the woods, Jack. Had to shoot to Little Glenham near Saxmundham. And then I had to do a bit back in my town cafe. But yeah, working. Got in about 4:30, and I was like, I need a couple of beers. I was like, why don't I do a live? Because I didn't want to do one yesterday. Jack Howard says, "Mr. Wilson, my man, how are you?" But yeah, what have you been up to today? What have you got in line for tomorrow? I'm going to be jealous of what you did today because it was a beautiful day. I'd have loved to have been down the beach or not, walking along the seafront, but I was working. Excuse me, dear oh dear oh dear. Did anyone see Lord? I think it's a short. It will still be up. Did anyone see John from Lords' short YouTube short that he did when he farted in a lift? I was standing in the lift, and there's me, Paul, Simon, and John all standing there. John gets his phone out, starts doing this. What's he doing? All of a sudden, literally as the door shut as well. Literally went, door shut, stuck in there for 20 seconds. Rank young man is John. Well, no, he's not. He's a very nice guy, but that was rank. Jack says, work this morning, then took boy to trampoline place this afternoon. Oh, the joys. Mate, knowing you, the boy was probably watching you on the trampolines. But yeah, oh mate, that's all right. Taking your boy out's pretty decent, isn't it? He says, going to bang some music on later, this Tom Stocks. Bit of Depeche Mode and have a few beers. Maybe play a bit of video games and tune some streams. It's a night for that, isn't it? Yeah, that's the vibe, mate. That is the vibe. Tom Stocks is laughing at John's video. John's farting in a lift video. Says, yeah, that was funny. Yes, it was, but it wasn't for me. Luckily, I had my hoodie on. I was like, get me out of here, please. David Wilson says, lazy day, done sod all. Mate, sometimes that's what you need. I could have done that today, but yeah. David says, Good, cheers, Jack. How's you? Did you go on the trampoline too? And he says, I've done my knee and jumping around like I'm not a fat bastard. Honestly, mate, my feet. I walked some miles around that exhibition centre and around Liverpool. The balls on my feet are done. Yeah, absolute nightmare. That's just one of the things of being a bit of a beer-bellied tubby idiot, isn't it? But yeah, absolutely done him. But yeah, Brew London. David, did you go to Brew London last year? Never done it. Never done it. I'm interested in it because this is more of a beer festival thing, isn't it? It's a bit more kind of what I like to do. Not saying that BeerX wasn't what I like to do. BeerX was really cool, but Brew London's a bit more for me rather than you know what I mean, like brewers and that. Let's just move this down a little bit because I'm a bit too. There we go. That's a bit better. You can see me. You can see my chins now. Look. Tom Stock says, I'm guessing the lift didn't have an air freshener. I wish it did, mate. Honestly, it was a stainless steel hot box, is what it was. It wasn't a lift. It was a stainless steel hot box. Absolutely rank. But yeah, it was funny, I have to say. It was sort of, we kind of settled down in the aftermath. It was like, what the bloody hell's going on here? In my answer about if Davey's been to Brew London, he said been 3 different years. Was good last year. Not as many brewers, but better venue. Yeah, is it? I think it's at the Docklands this year. Was it at the Docklands last year? I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I think there's gonna be some good. Like from what I was hearing, I think there's going to be some good names there. But yeah. Jack Howard says, did try Tim Hortons as my meal of the day. Proper yank grub. Tim Hortons? What is that? Is that coffee? Is that Canadian coffee shop thing? Tim Hortons. Does anyone know what Tim Hortons is? I've seen it. I've seen a few cropping up at the side of the road. Like I saw a Taco Bell, the first ever Taco Bell I've ever seen in Liverpool. But Tim Hortons, yeah, don't know. I believe it's a Canadian coffee shop, but I could be wrong. David Wilson says Printworks. What did I say? I didn't say Printworks, did I? Printworks at Canada Water. Yeah, right in the middle then. Yeah, I bet it's a well cool venue. Probably like all the old trading warehouses and stuff. I bet it's really cool in there. Tom Stocks says, is there any beer festivals in sort of Yorkshire or close areas to it? I think, Tom, you might check out the York Beer Festival. That's a biggie. I've only seen pictures, but that's always probably one of the ones that I see on social media. I'm like, I've missed it again. I'm sure there's York, but I reckon there's loads around you, mate. Honestly, you're in like kind of the heartland for British craft beer, really. There's going to be loads around you. Jamie says, Tim Hortons is Canadian. And then David follows up with Canadian. Yeah. I thought it was Canadian. Yeah. Yeah. Jamie C said, look, Canadian coffee shop like Dunkin' Donuts. So your one meal a day, you just went into Jack Howard was one into a pot of donuts. Tom Stock says, London hotels are super expensive and the train is quite expensive too. Otherwise, I would do Brew London. Yeah. They are expensive. I haven't even looked at hotels yet. I don't even know if I'll get one. I don't know how many days I'm going to be there for. But the train from me, honestly, return train to London on like normal like rush hour. Like if you want to take the midweek in and out on the same day, it's like 140 quid. Absolutely insane. Oh, Jack Howard says it's new in Ipswich, mate. Canadian fast food coffee place. I had a hot dog, sucker for a sausage. Oh, I have to try that out. I've seen them around. I've seen them at like motorway services and stuff. I think like they've got their own little standalone restaurants and that. I'll have to have a little look. I think I've heard of them, but yeah, I don't know. I love American food. I love American food. There's a place. Has anyone been? Jamie C. This could be one for you because I know you're in New York, or anyone else that's in the chat that's in America. Have you been to Buffalo Wild Wings? You're either like, mate, because I know a lot of the restaurants in the US are like regional, aren't they? Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. All they do is serve a plethora of chicken wings. It's like I don't want to say a better Hooters. It's more of like a classier Hooters. It's all chicken wings, chicken burgers, and all that sort of stuff. But they've got sport everywhere. The beer selection's insane. But yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings. We used to go to this thing. It was called like $1 wing night or something, or 10-cent wing night. And you used to get a pot, basically bucket of chicken for about $3. It was insane. Excuse me. Jamie C said, "How was your trip to Liverpool, mate? Were you a bit starstruck hanging out with all the UK beer tube legends, mate? Honestly, I would have been, but they were sound. Honestly, it was like they took me under their wing. They loads of advice, which was good, obviously, for me starting out. Still very new in the game when you consider Paul's done 3 and Simon's done 12 years. John's done about 3 or 4 years. But now it's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Just honestly, it was like old friends. That's all I can say. That's probably the best compliment I can give to those individuals. It was like meeting up with old friends. I suppose we met a lot sort of virtually, but yeah, it was like meeting up with old friends. Jamie says, "Yes, I have a Buffalo Wild Wings just down the road." Honestly, Jamie, I tell you what you should do: Buffalo Wild Wings, chili con queso dip with all the nachos or tacos, whatever you want to call them. Then honey barbecue, boneless wings, chips, and beer. Boom. Yeah, can't say fair on that. Jack Howard says awesome milkshakes, but waffle fries can do one. Yeah, waffle fries are rubbish. Waffle fries are the biggest myth in food for me. Why? Just give me a chip. I don't want a waffle fry. Give me a chip. I'm with you, mate. I'm with you, and I share your anger, good sir. David Wilson says breakfast deals are good in Tim Hortons. I get a black coffee when in Brum before going back to hotel after the beer. Why has everyone had a Tim Hortons apart from me? It's not fair. David says, "Hi, Jamie C." Disco says, "Really pleased you use the word plethora. It means a lot to me." Honestly, mate. I'm not really. I've never been all that brainy. Using words like plethora is probably a bit above my station. Disco says, "Afternoon all. Cheers. Cheers, good sir. What is everybody drinking? I've just cracked a can. It's blooming lovely of this Arbor Massive Zach New England Pale Ale. There you go. Look. Pint can as well. Perfect. Very, very nice. Yeah, what's everybody drinking? Let me know. David Wilson says, "Hi, Disco." And Disco says, "Hi, David." Tom Stock says, "YouTube beer community is great, bringing people together." Yeah, mate, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, yeah, it was insane. Met a couple of, one or two of Simon's subscribers and at BeerX, and they were loving it, honestly. It was brilliant. Obviously, met Captain Meats, met Roller Coaster Ride there as well. Captain Meats took us out. Oh my god, that guy is like the Duracell bunny. He don't stop. He is honestly like that. Bang, 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 bang. You're sitting down. You're like that. He's had an absolute fill all day. He come in at last minute, and he's like, "Oh, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Beer. And it's like, oh, he's a loony, mate, but he is hilarious. Like, he as funny as he is in the comments box. That's what he's like in real life. He's absolutely insane. JBC says, "Honestly, I prefer wings from a local dive bar. Dive bar wings, mate." Boom, there we go. David Wilson says, "Hi, I had the Siren 9-year anniversary Impy Stout called Turns yesterday. Very nice." Oh, I had the Siren. I've not had that, but I have had some Siren Stouts recently, and they were those mud cake stouts. I think they were done for a Christmas time. They were blooming good. I say a Siren at the moment. I'm smashing it. Tom Socks has got a Hawk's Head Session IPA. Got 12 for a £5. Bargain. It's decent. Boom, mate. Was that the box out of Tesco? Because they've got a box in Tesco, haven't they? Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. David Wilson says, "Arbor beers for the win. Not had a bad one from them, mate. Generally, they're bang on. Even their supermarket stuff is like bottle shop standard stuff. It's really, really good. I'm bloody enjoying this as well. If there's something I want on a sunny afternoon, it's a New England Pale. It's fitting the bill. It's doing bits, mate. But yeah, for those that weren't in earlier, Liverpool's mad. So many stories. Got some good footage as well that I'll be getting out in the next couple of days. Yeah, just whetting the appetite for Brew London. Really, well excited about that. But yeah, some of the kit that we saw, like brewing systems, like £300,000-400,000. You think, flipping it, how many cans of beer is that to pay for that bit of kit? But yeah, there was this one bit of kit that's going to Quantock Brewery on Monday. I think their socials are. Oh, there we go. Yeah, their socials are shouting about it at the moment, I think. But yeah, impressive. David Wilson says the Siren West Coast IPA Twists was okay, not too special. Didn't have the maiden release. I've only had the Mudshake stack, or the was it Mudshake? Midnight Stack Mudshake ones. I've only had that. They're my only Siren Craft bottle shop beers. All the others. Oh no, I had another can. I can't remember where it was. Somewhere in Norwich, I think. But yeah, they're just very, very good, aren't they? Tom Stock says, "Wow, expensive machines, mate. Everything in there was like." I'm thinking that's worth twice as much as my house. That's worth twice as much as my house. But yeah, really cool. Tom Stock says big initial startup costs if you wanted to start up your own brewery. It seems, yeah, but this was like all automated. This kit, we went on this kit, right, and he was like, "There's the mash tun. That then, if you press this button, that then sort of starts sparging, and then it drains out, and then it goes, just like it was all automated, all done off buttons on a touchscreen. Really impressive. But you can see where the money is, if you know what I mean." Disco says Caribbean chocolate cake pancake stack from Siren. Yeah, that's the one. White pancake stack. A chili one. Very good beers. Very good beers. I got all three. They were selling out everywhere, and my local bottle shop, twistedhops.co.uk. There's a discount code, I believe, in the description if you want to order some beers. They had it. They had the pack. Tom Stock says, "I'm assuming people get machines on finance and pay monthly." I didn't end up speaking about that. That was probably a question for the brewers, but maybe, yeah, quite possibly. I mean, be sensible for these companies, I presume, to offer finance on these bits of kit because they were so expensive. But yeah, it's I got lost. I got lost in all that stuff, to be honest with you. It was insane. Really interesting conversations with Yakim Chief and Charles Farram. There we go. Hop purveyors. They sell all the hops. Charles Farram are doing a lot with some British hops at the moment. They're in contact with some British hop farms and stuff like that. Really interesting conversations with them on sort of like trends, where beer's going to go, how they see. Obviously, the hop sold kind of dictates trends. So they sort of run through some of their biggest sellers, what they anticipate to sell, hop trends for the next 2 or 3 years. Really interesting. And I have to say, I rubbed like English grown Cascade hops in my hand. As good as the American stuff, because they had the American stuff right next door, and I did it again, and it was just as good. So yeah, exciting. Will it bring? I don't know what the obviously the hop varieties are exciting. All the different ones that will come out, and it will be good to see how that affects price if they're not shipping them over from the UK. Dave Wilson says, "Can still buy 3 of the cake ones from Siren Direct." There you go. They were really good, actually. I think they were quite pricey, but yeah, really nice nonetheless. It's just nice to taste. I think the Caribbean chocolate mug cake was one of their most famous beers. It was nice to taste a bit of history and a few little spin-offs. But yeah, just the beers we tried. We tried so much. All the beers being served were, if Disco, unless you've been, you might know. They had this middle bit where all the beers were divided up into 7 or 8 regions. Each region had about 20 to 30 beers on. Yeah, we tried some beer, mate. And you just start talking to people, like you start talking to the marketing guys, and you'd make it clear that they couldn't sell you anything, like because you weren't a brewer, but they'd still be cracking beers out the fridge for you. Just that SSV, that mental bit of brewing kit that's going to Quantock. They were plying us with Daya, Lakes Brewing. I believe it was called Strangers Brewing. They were just like wanted to speak, obviously if they cleared off, if they saw someone they might be able to sell something to, that's absolutely fair enough. But you're drinking their beer, can't be bad, can it? But yeah, really cool experience. Would I go again? I think I would. I got a lot out of it just as a startup YouTube beer reviewing channel. I got a lot out of it. Had some good conversations with some good people, and just had a cracking time in Liverpool. Liverpool is just amazing. I am dying to go back, but my liver's not. But yeah, it's the people in Liverpool just like they can't do enough for you. We walked into Premier Inn, and it was like, "Sorry lads, can't check in." I had a quick chat with her. She was like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll show you to your rooms, check in." She was printing passes off. She was like surrogate mother as much as she was a concierge. But yeah, really cool people in Liverpool. What did we eat? Oh, I had a rank pizza. The pizza at Premier, it was terrible. I had a good bit of food as well. The food looked good in Liverpool, but yeah, just not enough time there really. I think you probably need a week. And all these bars as well. Honestly, every corner you walk around, there's another bar, and there was this really amazing German bar that we should have gone to, but we just didn't have time. We were literally there for one night. It kind of is what it is. Right. What is everybody's plan for the summer? Any holidays booked? I've booked to go away. Where am I going? I'm going away in the camper van. I'm going away to Normandy in France. Might seek out some French craft beer whilst I'm out there and do a bit of filming. But yeah, holidays, because we're kind of allowed to now. We're allowed to. Obviously, I got back from Bulgaria with some Bulgarian COVID, which weren't too clever. But I'm still sort of getting over. But yeah, what's everybody's plan? Anyone books holidays? A lot of people aren't booking them because they're still worried, aren't they? But hey Joey, how you doing, mate? Welcome, mate. Joey's in. Yo, you can imagine the way he says it as well. Yo, he loves it, does Joey. Joey, how you doing, my brother? How's your podcast going? Any other famous people on? He just has a plethora. Third time we've used it tonight of famous people on his podcasts. He had the lead singer from Wheatus. I know I keep saying that, but that's pretty cool. I remember Wheatus. They're kind of a bit of part of my childhood. They are. But yeah, any holidays, anyone? Like I say, I'm going away to Normandy in the camper van for 2 weeks. That's just going to be just super chill out. I've got my daughter for the first time. That's the first time she'll have been away properly. But yeah, here we go. Look, David says, hi, Joey. Joey says, had an American footballer on last night. Just like, he's insane. I've just realised actually, I need to send the link out. I didn't send the link out to the boys. Let's quickly do that. But Joe, who was he? What was his name, Joey? He says, hey, he says, no holidays until spring break with the kiddos in April. Where are you off to? You're just in the best country for holidays, aren't you? You don't even need to leave America. I think you can jump on a plane with your driver's license and fly off somewhere in America. It's insane. Let's just quickly get this sent over to the boys because they're probably waiting for it, or they could be waiting for it, and I've not sent it over because I'm useless. Joey, do you fancy coming on, mate? You're more than welcome. I don't think I've had you on yet, Joey. I've been on streams with you, but I haven't. I haven't had you on mine. Javonte Moffat. Who did he play for? Not that I know a lot about it at all. What's going on? That's all good. Right, boom. There we done. Joey says, I'll pop up for sure. Mate, I'm going to try and find you on Instagram. Where are you? Joey, are you Square Table Degenerates Podcast on Instagram? Square Table Degen. Or are you just Joey Edibles on there? Joey, let pop your Instagram in, mate. I'll have a little look. The Browns last year, he only got in a couple of games. See, he's got like recent American football players that are probably worth 10, 15, 20 million dollars on there. Absolutely insane. Joey's taking his kids to an indoor water park for a couple of days. We just don't have that in the UK. Honestly, you Americans, you don't know. You've got it good, mate. You've got it good. I've got my real name on IG. I don't know your real name on IG. I presume it's Joey. I just don't know, mate. I'll get you on. Jack Howard says, when the twins are born. Hey, Jack, did everybody know Jack Howard's wife's pregnant with twins? There you go. We'll have a trip over to the homeland, Ireland. What, are you going to take them over when they're like newborn? Blimey, mate, you're brave, you are. Honestly, I'll get nervous about taking the little into Asda. At Joe Vorel. There we go. Joe Vorel. There he is. Right, let me copy that. I'll send that to you. Accept. Boom. There you go, mate. See you in a minute. Jamie C. When have you visited in the States, Mark? Where did you go? How long did you stay? Right, I've got loads of family in Chicago. So my uncle is out there. He's got 5 kids. Him and my auntie got 5 kids, and they've got people and people and people. Joey's in. Hello, mate. How you doing,
brother? This is Mark.
You good?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. I'm just smoking it up. At 2:30, I gotta take I know this is random, but I gotta take the weed out of the oven at 2:30 because I'm making edibles for tonight. So I gotta get the weed out of the oven at 2:30. So in about 10 minutes, I'm gonna set an alarm. Okay, Google, set an alarm for 2:30.
Is it?
Set. Yeah, we're only 4 hours behind you for the next 2 weeks.
4 hours?
Yeah. So right now it's 2:21 in the East Coast. This is what 6:20 your time, right? 18:21, something like that.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's like that for 2 weeks because you guys hit your clocks ahead on, I think, next weekend actually. So it was like 2 weeks.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
and they actually voted. This is gonna be the last daylight savings time in America. We're not gonna do it anymore. So this time is gonna be permanent. So I don't know if you guys are gonna keep it. It might change differently and all that. So it's gonna be wild to keep up with it now. So who knows?
To be fair, mate, America, like the trend, anything that happens in America, it happens here 5 years later. So I'm sure we'll do it at some point or another. Jamie C's just asking where I visit in the States. I was just saying I've got loads of family in Chicago. Great sports city. I love it in Chicago.
I was in Chicago 2 weekends ago, actually.
Good place.
Did you go to the United Center? Did you see any events there? That's where I was at.
Yeah, I saw it was a few years ago, but I saw the Chicago Bulls play. Is it the Toronto Rockets?
Raptors.
Raptors. Yeah, sorry, my knowledge isn't great.
No problem.
Saw the Raptors. Michael Jordan came out and waved to the crowd. It was cool to lay my eyes on him. I was in America. I was in America for 3 months in 2008. I'm out. That was in Chicago.
Okay.
Just spent loads of time in Chicago. Went down to Indiana to see my cousin's university, where that was quite unnerving because there's lots of no gun signs on the restaurants and stuff. It's a bit weird that you just don't see in Chicago. Then, I've been to. Then in 2015, me and my wife went on a huge holiday because we just wanted to get it out of the system. We took return flights in and out of Chicago again, but we went to San Francisco for 4 nights, and then from there to Vegas for 4 nights. Okay. Then we flew back to Chicago. Then we flew down to Miami, and then we drove down to Key West. We've done honestly, we looked like the biggest British people, Joey. Honestly, we rented a red convertible Mustang and drove down to Key West. It's like nice. It's such a British thing to do. But yeah, kind of. I've seen a little bit of drift. I've been to Wisconsin. I've skied in Wisconsin.
What school in Indiana did your cousin go to?
Purdue.
Purdue. Okay, the Boilermakers. Nice.
Yeah, the Boilermakers. That's it. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool to go there because I'd never been to a university, so it was cool to kind of see that side of things. And because you just do university is different to us. Your parties are better.
You go to some of these big college towns, Columbus, Ohio, Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's just a great party, man. It's just so fucking fun, dude. It's such a blast. It's really great.
When I was in the States for that 3 months in 2008, obviously I got a phone and I had a phone number and stuff, and I made like a little community of friends really quick. And then we get I'll get messages on my phone. Mark, what do you want to hang out Friday? I'm having a party. It's a 2 kegger. So for the people that don't know, they literally buy kegs of beer and you pump the keg. They put this device in, you pump the keg and you tap it straight off the keg. There'll just be like Bud Light everywhere.
We did that for our wedding. When I got married, I got 3 kegs and a bunch of liquor, and we just went at it. It was great. Did you get to do a keg stand at all?
A keg? No, I didn't. Is that when you go on?
A keg stand is where 2 guys invert you. You're literally inverted. And then you got to drink the beer upside down while they're holding you upside down. It's called a keg stand.
I didn't do that. I didn't get the chance. But it was I did get the chance to have a party busted by the police. That was a really good one.
Nice. Those are always great. Especially
because the guy didn't believe I was from London. He was telling me off for doing accents. I was like, mate, I'm not doing an accent. I'm from London. He was like, where are you from? I was like, London. But yeah, I had a really good summer that year. All my cousins were like homecoming parties and stuff. So like I was 20 years old, and all my cousins are girls out there, so they've just got parties with all their friends. It's just like, yeah, a 20-year-old's playground, I tell you.
Oh, dude, there's parties anywhere if you just gotta know where to party. I mean, after a while, you kind of, I mean, once you get older, I mean, you can't party like we do in your 20s. I mean, I went to college. I wasn't 28 until I graduated. You guys call it university, obviously, but I wasn't 28 until I graduated. So I had some. It really. Well, I was in the service too. So like, we go to places and there's nothing to do. You can't smoke weed. I didn't smoke weed till I retired. So like, you go someplace, you go to Korea for a couple weeks, for example. What else is there to do in Korea? You're gonna get blitzed all the time. That's all we did when we was over there. We just get drunk as shit,
So what state? What state are you in?
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Cleveland.
Ohio, yeah. I've got some friends in Dayton.
Dayton, okay, that's about 3.5 hours south of me on the way to Cincinnati. There's a big Air Force base. So that was an Air Force. There's a big Air Force base down there.
That's how big the States is, guys. I'm not joking. He's in the same state as Dayton, sorry, and it's 3.5 hours away. We drove down to Indiana. It looked like an inch on the map. It was like 7 hours.
Oh, I was just in Chicago, like I said, a couple weekends ago, because I was right where you're at, where the United Center, because the Bulls were playing the Cavs. Cleveland Cavaliers are my team, and we got smoked. We got killed. Well, yeah, it was about 5 hours and 15 minutes or so out there. So the gas was. I mean, I can't even complain about gas prices though, because I looked up how much you guys pay and like what it translates to. My goodness,
mate, it's like, insane at the moment.
Because like if it hits $4 a gallon here in Ohio, we're freaking out, dude. I checked like the conversion, with pounds to dollars, and then like area liter to gallons. It's like $9 a gallon. We would revolt if the shit was $9 a gallon, dude. There's no way we couldn't even sustain an economy at $9 a gallon. There's no way.
Mate, when you say you would revolt, yet again in 2008, I remember this. The gas prices or the petrol prices went up to a level where the public weren't happy. So everyone took their cars to the gas stations, parked them up at the pumps, and turned them off and walked away. And it was like, you're not selling that petrol or that diesel at that price. Nope. And it was just like, look, that was in the morning. Come back in the afternoon, the prices were down. Everyone was filling up again. It was well good. People power.
Oh yeah. I mean, the power of the consumer and groups. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you got in the States, you got probably 325 million people. I mean, if 1% of us decide to, let's go to DC and show them what we're all about. That's 3 million people. They could easily take over anything. You tell me you couldn't take over? Well, they got 1,500 people guarding the place. You could easily take it over. So the power really is in the people's hands.
It's insane what you do over there. It's good. Jack Howard says, within the okay, Jesus. So Jack Howard's missus is pregnant with twins.
Nice.
So within the first month of them being born, they'll go over to Ireland. He took his boy to Jamaica when he was just 2 months old. He went to Ireland when he was a week old.
Wow,
mate. Honestly, I'll get the shakes and the sweats if I've got to go to get some shopping with the missus and the baby. It's a nightmare. And she's 5 months old nearly. David Wilson says, hope we're going to do that too. Daft changing time. Yeah, mate. We don't need it now. Was it all for the farmers? I think it was for the farmers, wasn't it?
Well, back in the day, it was for the school kids too. Like when they would go to school in the morning, they didn't want it to be dark when they're out there walking to school or whatever. So they would change it, and they would help in the summer. Because not really so much for the farmers, I don't think, but I think it was more for the school kids. I'd have to look it up.
Right.
But I think it has something to do with like school kids going to like early in the morning. They don't want it to be dark as shit out, so we moved the clocks ahead or back or whatever the fuck it was. I
don't know. Yeah. That's fair enough, mate. It makes sense. Jamie C says, it takes about 10 hours to drive from one end of New York to the other, Buffalo to the NYC. 10 hours?
Yeah, from here to New York is about, because we were just in New York City last August. Me and my daughter went there. It was August or July. I think it was August. But it was about an 8-hour drive or so. And most of it's not too bad. Pennsylvania is kind of boring, honestly, driving through Pennsylvania. But with New York getting into the city is crazy, man. Because like New Jersey's even, you probably got about a good hour in New Jersey. And then once you get to New York, you get the tunnel, I think it was a Holland tunnel, and it comes down, it's like 8 lanes, come down to like 4, and you're just, and I don't know how much it is. We got a little pass, it's called Easy Pass. Like all the toll roads, you don't have to stop at the booth, you just drive by and it sends you a bill every month. And it took forever to get through that, man. It was ridiculous. But we just parked the car. We parked the car in the hotel. I made sure I got a hotel with the parking garage so that way I could park and leave when I wanted to. Because by the time you pay all the subway fares, you're going to cost for it anyways, whatever. We're there for 5 days, $30 a day per car, gives a shit. But we got the car there in the hotel. I just walked around New York City. It was great too, dude, because like New York, has legal weed now. So I just went to Central Park and just smoked blunts, watch people walk around. It's freaking phenomenal, man.
How many states? Obviously, if New York's doing it, that's a biggie. If they're going to legalize it, obviously, I know Colorado and California were a couple of the first, weren't they? But how many states are now? How many states? What's the percentage of states that have legalized it now compared to the ones that haven't?
You get about 50 states total. I think for medicinal purposes, Ohio is one of them. There's like 34. And I think recreational is about 17 or so, and it's climbing every year pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
You got Maine, Massachusetts, California, Oregon, Washington, obviously Colorado, Michigan. Michigan's where I get all my shit, cheap as fuck. Massachusetts, already said. Virginia just did it. New Jersey's got it now. Alaska. I mean, it's pretty wild, man. It's gonna be legal everywhere here soon. All right, it is 2:30. I need to go get the weed out the oven, so bear with me.
Do it, mate. Do it. It's not a problem at all. Right, I'm gonna get a couple of comments. Jack Howard says, "I just couldn't handle the choices at Tim Hortons. I panicked and picked a sausage as usual." Hey, my bedroom's not Tim Hortons. Jack Howard says, "If you don't take a newborn over there, then family come over here to see them. You don't want that, trust me." Loads of Irish people pissed in your house. Yeah, no, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Jamie C says, I prefer to take the train. From where I live, there's a direct train to Penn Station. Jamie, your trains over there are like viable. They're cheap. They're cheap to use. They're on time and they're comfortable. Here, you're a Briton living in the US. They're rubbish. Honestly, I just drive everywhere. I drove to get the train from my house to John's in Huddersfield. I had to go down to London, then up. And that's down to the London bit that's expensive. It was going to be about 145 quid just to get to Huddersfield. And then I had to do Liverpool. I just drove there. 40 quid, 50 quid. Car's tax and insured anyway. I'll just burn more diesel and kill the environment more, you know. It's just like... David Wilson says, do they eat all your sausages, Jack? He says, lol, 50 turn up and 10 of them never leave. Loads of Irish people in Jack's basement like that. Jack says the sausage we get through is ridiculous. Hey, it's a weekend. Why not? Right, so those of you who don't know that's in the chat, this is Joey from the Squared Table Degenerates podcast. He gets on some insane people. He's just had an American NFL player, Wheatus singer. There was the drummer or a band member. I'll let him explain. Like, he gets on some insane people on his podcast. Don't know how he does it. Insane. Alan Mead, how you doing, mate? Evening, Alan. How are you, my friend? You Irish know how to party, Alan, because I was in Liverpool a couple of days ago, and one of those nights was St. Patrick's night, and there were gattered Irish people everywhere. Like, all you could hear was like the Irish drawl, like the Irish sort of speech, the Irish accent. That's all you could hear, and they were like, fuck. Honestly, it was like someone out of Michael Jackson Thriller, seeing them all up there. He says he's out for a bite to eat later and a few bevies. Lovely, mate. He can't wait. Nice one, mate. Have a cracker. And what are you eating, Alan? What would you eat in Ireland? Are you going to go traditional Irish? Or are you going to go like really sort of like American, gorging on burgers and cheese fried chips? Cheese fried fries, actually, should I say. Or cheese soaked fries. David Wilson says, hi, Irish beer guy. Alan Mead. Alan Mead says, hiya. Jack Howard says, boys are old dears for sleepover. Oi, oi, game on. Hey, if the bedroom's rocking, don't come a knocking. David Wilson says, even Spoons here was round on Thursday. Mate, honestly, the Spoons in the station in Liverpool Central, I can't remember, wherever the big station is in Liverpool, you couldn't get in. It was a nightmare. He says he believes it. He better believe it, Mark. I'm sure we'll all get out at some stage and I'll show you all. Yeah, mate, we got to, haven't we? We've got to. But yeah, they go, honestly, you boys. I thought the Scouts were bad. And I thought the Scouts were bad based on Captain Meats on Wednesday night. Then I saw the Irish lot on Thursday. Alan Meats is going for a Thai meal, then a few craft beers. Very nice, mate. Very nice. You just don't get a lot, obviously, because of the border and all the rest of it. You just don't get a lot of Irish craft beer over here. And I'm probably imagine you don't get a lot of British craft beer over there either. David Wilson says, good, thanks, Alan. How are you? She's carrying your kids, Jack. So Jack's wife's pregnant. He's just said, just a pity she's the size of a house. But that moving a fridge, wouldn't it? Oh dear, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Mrs. Howard. I'm sure that you are doing very well. Very good job in difficult circumstances living with Jack. But yeah, I had my first draft Guinness on St. Patrick's Day. My first draft Guinness in 15 years, 20 years, 15 years. Tom Stock says, change of plan, not game with music, going out to watch a live band. I'm powering on through, even though ill, non-COVID. Let's get on it. Nice one, mate. What's the band? What music do they play? I love a gig. It's just something I don't do enough. I just don't do it enough. I just don't do enough. Alan Mead says, I'm great, David. Cheers. Alan's on it tonight. He's out having a Thai meal and a few craft beers. David Wilson says, sounds like a good evening at the planned, Alan. Yeah, mate. Thai food and craft beer. Talk to me. All over that, mate. You definitely had a few great few days away, Mark. Looked like great fun. Honestly, mate, it was mega. Start to finish. I arrived in Huddersfield. I arrived at John's house. He said, I'll be along in 5 minutes. Then we're going to the brewery. Went to the brewery, saw the brewery, which was really cool. Had some beer straight off the tank. Got back to John's and it was beer. Literally filmed a podcast with John, and then just done a live. Literally had a meal, done a live. It was just beer. It was insane. Really, really good. Jack Howard says, if the fridge is one of them effing huge double American ones. Oh, you're going to get a slap if she knows what you're saying. You're going to get a slap. Tom Stock says 80s, 90s rock music cover band. They do stuff like Guns N' Roses, Oasis, Stereophonics, etc. That sounds banging. Where's that? East Yorkshire. Where would you? Is that Hull? Hull? Is that the? I don't know. I just don't know that area of the world enough. But yeah, it was great to meet the guys, Alan. Just really, really nice lads. Beer X was mega as well. Loads of beers. Probably got my chops around about 40, 50 different beers. Really, really good. Dave Wilson says, yeah, man, really missing live music. Now we have 2 on 29 and the 30th. Oh, you got 2 gigs in a row on the 29th and 30th. It's all right, isn't it? Jack Howard, delete. Mrs. Howard finds out you're in for a fight, I reckon. Right, lads, I'm off. That was a flying visit. Haha. Chat soon. Alan, have a cracking night, mate. I'm massively jealous, actually. Don't have a Thai restaurant near me. Do have craft beer though, so you know. Take care. Have a good night. Tom Stocks is in Beverley, mate. Beverley. Wouldn't even know where that is. Sounds like me. Sounds like my old auntie. Right, we've got probably 20 odd minutes to go, I reckon. I'm gonna go and do some dinner with my wife. Actually, talking of dinner, Joey's getting something out of the oven. I think he's drying some herbal weed out of the oven. David Wilson says, enjoy your evening, Alan. There we go. A lot of love for Alan. Alan's Instagram, by the way, is insane. If you go Irish Craft Beer Guy on Instagram, his Instagram's insane. Like, he is an Instagram king, I tell you. Jack Howell says, a beautiful fridge. Well, those big fridges do have 2 handles. You know what I'm saying? There we go. I can hear a wild Joey on March.
There we
Dinner
go.
out the oven, mate?
Yeah, the weed is in the weed sauteing now with the butter. So I took it out of the oven and I got to set an alarm actually to remind myself. Okay, Google, set an alarm for 45 minutes.
3:24 p.m. Set.
All right, there we go. So 45 minutes from now.
It looks like there's already an alarm set for then.
All right, so 45 minutes from now, I'll get the weed. I'll strain the weed from the butter, and then I'll take that butter and put it in the cookie mix, and then put the cookies in the oven, and then boom, we'll have edibles.
Oh, is that the way you do it?
Yep.
Right. So the actual edibles don't have like leaf in. It's just more like what's left over from the leaf in the butter.
Mm-hmm. You're activating something when the first process for the 45 minutes when you put the weed in the oven at 245 degrees or 240 degrees. That's called decarbonization. That activates you can eat those nuggets right out the thing and get high if you want to. But so that does that. And then once you do that, you can infuse it with whatever you want. So you do it with the butter, and obviously butter is easy to make with any kind of bakery.
Yeah.
So you infuse it with the butter, and then that with that butter you can make any kind of bakery, macaroni and cheese, edibles, cookies, whatever you want.
Oh mate, I absolutely love it. That's why his name on screen is normally Joey Edibles. He knows what he's up to. David, Jack Howard, I really should stop digging. Yeah, mate, you're gonna get a right hook from your missus and she's pregnant. Could be a bit of a nightmare. David Wilson, Jack, do you fly across the island or drive and ferry? Mate, if he's got like a week old, I reckon he'd drive, but even that's got to be rank because Jack lives out near me. That's like east to west in the UK. Horrible. Oh, there you go.
I've been to Ireland before. I've never been to the UK itself. I've been to Gibraltar, so it's owned by the UK, I believe, right?
Yeah. Apparently it's really weird. It's like you got the Spanish heat, the Spanish sort of everything else, and you're using pounds. It's meant to be really weird.
You ain't kidding with the heat, dude. It was so freaking hot down in Gibraltar. I remember. The only time I remember a high Celsius temperature, like, oh, it's 42 degrees outside. I was like, Jesus Christ, that sounds hot. And it translated, it's like well over 100 here. It was just so hot. I got a picture of it was like 15 years ago. I put on or maybe 16 now, but because I was there for the service. I was in there, the Morón Air Base in Sevilla, Spain. And we went down to Gibraltar, and it was just so. I just walked to take some pictures. I wanted to walk up to the top to see the monkeys and stuff, but I was just too hot. I just said, "Fuck it," and walked back. It was so hot, dude.
Yeah, it's I mean, when you think it's an island that's south of Spain, and Spain's hot. Like you're getting on for like Morocco and sort of places like that in terms of like climate and stuff. Must be absolutely insane. I'd like to go to Gibraltar actually. There's just loads of places on my hit list. I probably don't have. I'll never earn enough money to go and visit them. I don't think. If you know what I mean.
That's the way I am with a lot of stuff. People are like, oh, I need to visit this, and this. I'm like, man. I mean, is there really that much difference to places in the world? I mean, we can nitpick all day because if I go to China, I got to see the Great Wall. I'm sure there's 900 other things in China you want to see too. You know what I mean? So there's only so much time out in the world.
I'll tell you, it's kind of funny because like when you talk about like the Great Wall of China, which is obviously an amazing bit of art, engineering and the rest of it. I went to Sydney, right? And I was like really hyped to go to Sydney. It was part of a bigger trip. And we done 2 days in Brisbane, and we weren't even in Brisbane for those 2 days, which was when we did get out into Brisbane briefly, it was mega. Like the city is insane. It's so cool. Went to Sydney. Honestly, I rocked up. I looked at the bridge, the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Sorry to anyone that's Australian that's watching. And I was like, I've seen that in Newcastle. Literally the same bridge. And then I turned around, and the Opera House has got loads of tiles missing out of it. They're like crumbling on the floor. I was just like, this is crap. I hated Sydney, honestly. And it was just like, probably much like I don't know, maybe not much like the Great Wall, but those things are probably better in your mind. Do you know what I mean? Like seeing the Opera House is probably better in your mind and better like on New Year's where they're sending off the fireworks. I thought Sydney was rubbish. Honestly, the best city in Melbourne was best city in Australia was Melbourne, followed by Brisbane. Sydney, waste of time. Jack Howard says 3 kids in the back of an M5 all that way should be fine. And I can imagine your fuel bill. If you're going to drive to Ireland, you better set aside about 600 quid for fuel, especially in an M5, mate. What do you drive, Joe? You've probably got some insane truck, haven't you?
Everybody always says that. It's actually funny. I don't. I got a Kia Forte, and I got a Vespa, which currently has a flat tire, so I got to figure that shit out.
You got a Vespa?
Yeah, and I got a Vespa, 2020 Vespa Primavera 150 Sprint. It's
nice fun.
Because when my dad passed away, I was like, I want to get something ridiculous because I need some you know how it is. You just want to get something silly because you have to inheritance or whatever. I was like, all right, I want a Vespa because I always loved. Do you remember Grand Theft Auto Vice City? When Tommy Vercetti was walking down the thing, you just steal a Vespa and roll around. I was like, oh, I got to get one of them fucking things.
And it so lean over. You could like lean it on the game, couldn't you?
Oh yeah. So I went clear up to there's a place called CLE Moto, town I live in, it's called Cleveland. So I went there and they had a couple of them and they give like a 5% military discount or whatever. So I got
nice one.
I got like $500 off the bike, and it was weird because like it had a flat tire the first year, so I didn't drive it for a while, and I still ain't got my motorcycle license, my motorcycle endorsement. So like even when I took up the store, I was just totally riding illegal, technically.
Right, I'll tell you what. Speak to Trilby. Phil's just said hello. I'm going to go and get a beer that's got your name written on it, and I talked about it earlier. Give us 2 secs.
All right, nice. Phil, what up, buddy? How's it going, pal? We're coming to you live from across the world. For those of you watching the college basketball games, the NCAA March Madness, this Baylor North Carolina game is pretty wild, man. North Carolina was up at like 25, and now they're in overtime. It's tied up at 84, 2:49 left to go. It's a really wild game. The Baylor has this white dude with a mullet that looks really cool. So if you're watching it, you might enjoy that mullet. If you're a fan of the 80s haircuts and stuff like that. Once Mr. Mark gets back for 2 seconds, I'm going to run in and make sure the butter isn't like super burning because I'm sauteing the butter with the weed. So I always got to do like that 5-minute mark to make sure it's not like, ridiculous because it could be too hot. All right, Mr. Mark is back. Give me like 2 minutes.
Go. Right.
I'm going to go check my butter.
This is your beer, right?
All right, I'm going to say the beer first. Let's see the beer. Let's see. Oh, nice. You got it with the vest on it. Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is in the UK, you've obviously heard of a band called Oasis.
Yeah, I love Oasis. Love Oasis.
So this is the beer's called Champagne Supernova.
Champagne Supernova.
it's got about 3 or 4 Vespers on it, and it's all like modded up.
Oh, hell yeah. I've seen that little Target thing. I've seen that I'm in a couple of Vespa groups on Facebook, and I've seen that like on some of the Vespas. They got that in the back. Yeah,
it was a badge, I believe. Correct me, someone in the chat's bound to know. But I believe it was a badge that the mods used to wear on their like Parker jackets with the fur on the hoods.
Oh, that's right. I still got to watch that movie. What's it called? Quadrophenia. I got to check that movie out. I heard it's quite old, obviously, but I got to check that movie out for sure.
Yeah, it probably make some sense. But yeah, the UK had a big mods versus rockers scene. Like you get the mods rock up in Vespers to a pub, and they'd have a fight, like a rock pub, and they'd have just a massive fight, and then ride off again. And the rockers used to do it on the Harleys and stuff.
Fucking awesome. Well, it's great too, dude. Because like when we go out, all my buddies got Harleys. Like every one of them has a giant truck and a Harley. They're the stereotype what you just said. So it's like when we go out, I got this tiny Vespa shit, and they're on these fucking giant Harleys, and they're fucking they just take off. I'm just sitting there.
What CC is it? Is it a 125?
It's 150.
150. Okay, so it's not slow, but it's not rapid like a Harley.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it on the freeway. I get up about 55, 60 miles an hour. And that's about my max. Anything over that, I'm kind of because there's not much between you and the ground. I mean, the scooters are just like a bike with a fucking motor on it. So it's like, yeah, be careful. All right, give me 2 minutes. I want to check the weed butter real quick.
See, that's something you've never heard on the live stream, everybody in the comments. I'm going to check on my weed butter real quick. But yeah. Right, guys, probably got about 10 minutes to go. I'm going to go do some dinner. I've got homemade chicken chimichangas for dinner. What have you got for dinner? If you've got a better dinner than that, you just won't. I know you won't. Right, what beer are we going to go for next? Whoa, let's go for another Black Isle Brewing. Sorry, Spider Monkey Organic. No, I'll tell you what. Actually, no. Going to go for this, an organic, unfiltered, anytime IPA. It's a bit lower on ABV because I had a bit of a skinful in the week. There we go. If you're in the chat and you don't know who Joey is on screen, he runs a really, really good podcast called Square Table Degenerates. He gets some absolutely insane people on there. I say it all the time. But yeah, there we go. He's back. How's the butter?
It's doing good. It melted in. What I like it to do is because I always I cut the butter into pats, and I put the pats on the pan. I usually put the weed, sprinkle a little bit on each pat, and then I flip the pat. That way they melts, and I melt it, and it all just kind of sits in the bottom of the pan, nice low heat. Just got to make sure it's not bubbling or anything. I put a little extra butter in there. So
hey, don't burn your butter.
Right. It's only butter. At the end of the day, it's freaking $1 for a stick or whatever. And if I burn off too much, I can always throw some olive oil in there too to help with the rest.
Yeah, true. It's the first rule of every cook. We've got this show in the UK called the Great British Bake Off.
Mm-hmm.
And they say all the time, don't burn your butter. Or butter.
Butter. Don't burn your butter. How do you fold?
What's happening with the podcast then, Joey? What's going on? What's the latest?
Let's see. Last week we had on there's a wrestler, an active wrestler we have. His name's Eric Redbeard. He used to go by Eric Rowe when he was in the Wyatt family. He had if you've ever watched wrestling in 15 years, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But he used to come out with a sheep mask, and it was real scary and crazy. And it was on Monday night, and then last night, like I said, we had the footballer on, American footballer, Javante Moffitt. And then, did I say that here? Maybe there's another stream. I don't know. I've been on
No, it was here. Yeah, it was here.
Oh, it was here? Okay, good. And let's see. Coming a couple weeks. I'm trying to think back who we had recently. We haven't had a British dude on in a while. We had a couple. There was like 3 weeks in a row. I think we had British people. And we had Sarah Class. She's like a classical type person. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. And then Jamie Lonsdale, same vibe. He's a classical music person.
How do you make contact with these people? Do you message them on Instagram? I mean, what's the etiquette?
Well, usually I'll either I personally prefer just DMing them. You know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is the three I go on. Occasionally Cameo, but Cameo costs money, so I try not to do a Cameo unless I really want to get a hold of somebody. But usually I prefer that because the email chains tend to get lost. They never really take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I go to the website, and if they got an email in there, you know, and I got there's this place called Internet Movie Database, IMDb. I got a subscription to that, and they got emails on there and stuff like that too. And after a while, you start knowing people, and they know people, and you know.
Yeah, of course.
You just get, you know, it spitballs a little bit. So I mean, it's pretty slick, man. I've had on some bangers, dude. I mean, if you think about like all the musicians I've had on, I had on Right Said Fred. I mean, they're pretty banger.
Mate, Right Said Fred in the UK are like still pretty big.
They're pretty. I love following. They're fucking hilarious on their social media. Oh my god, those guys are still banging. It's fun. They just came out with the new book, new autobiography.
I need to have a look.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, we had, and then man, movie stars, Mindy Sterling from Austin Powers. She started the laser. She was on there. She was funny as fuck, man. She's like 67, dude. She still looks like she's whatever 40 or something like that. I mean, those actresses in Hollywood, man, they take care of themselves, brother. They really do.
Hey, they got good surgeons.
Fuck yeah. Good dietitians too. It's probably all about the diet and plastic surgery. But I mean, you start asking them questions, then they all really do take care of the whole my body is a temple thing. I mean, they really do take care of themselves. I mean, it's no joke. I mean, that's the reason why they always say you hear the song California Girls. It's true. I mean, it's they take care of themselves out there. There's a joke like in Ohio 6 is a California 3, something like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, like this whole kind of the American thing of like going to see a surgeon for some corrective surgery, that is huge now. Like, it's so funny. You go on Instagram and all the girls look the same. It's almost like they've gone to see the same surgeon. They all have the same cheeks and the same lips and the same nose, and the guys. I'm not saying just girls. Guys go and do it as well, and they all look the same. It's so funny. Honestly, it makes me laugh.
Big lips and shit. It's like what?
No,
these gigantic glasses. It looks like something off of a sketch from the 50s or something. Like, where did you get these fucking glasses? My gosh.
Glasses my granddad used to wear with like the thin brass lenses and stuff. It's so weird. I just don't get it. I'm not part of that world. I'm pretty easygoing. So right. I don't know.
Well, in a way, it's kind of good because it's like, you know, in the years past, guys our age, we'd be like tempted by these young women and their ways. But we look at these chicks that are 25 and under, and like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't even attractive. Like, what are your beauty standards here? And I just don't get it. So there's no temptations out there, really. It's kind of wild, you know. It's I don't know what they're even trying to accomplish, really, with some of these pictures and the way they act. I mean, it's like, we know you rented that boat. We know you don't live that life. Like, why are you trying to fool everybody? Like, quit the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with this?
Weekend millionaires, mate. Weekend millionaires. It is, isn't it? Like, I shouldn't judge, but I've just got a close contact notification through on my phone for COVID-19. Excellent stuff.
Uh-oh. We never had that. Well, if we did, nobody ever downloaded the app because America.
There you go. That's the app we get.
Oh, nice.
I had it recently, so I'm not going to get it again, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe if you do, I mean, I think it's, I don't know what the number is, probably 75% of people at this point have had it. I mean, I had it, my son had it, but I still haven't got my smell back really, like I had before. I mean, I can still smell, but like I can't, like you, I used to be able to take a candle, you know, and put it up to my face. Here, I'll show you. I just went to the candle store earlier. I got a new candle. I'll show you.
Yeah, I'm the same. So for the people in the chat, I'm the same as Joey. Like, people are. I was at this beer thing. People saying, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, I can't smell it and really taste it all that well.
Right. So there's this place called Bath and Body Works, and they have a sale today. It was $12.95 for this 3-wick candle, right? And it's called Sugared Lemonade. You know, I should be able to smell that and, you know, overpowering, but yeah, I can still smell a little bit. But it's like nothing. It's probably like 70% of what it should be, or 30% of what it should be. Like, it still has never really, you know, come back. You know what I mean? So
that's the thing. Like, I want to release some beer review videos. I've got loads of beer to review, but what I've got some like cheaper beers that I don't mind. Because what I don't want to do is like drink my expensive stuff and I can't taste or smell. That's just absolutely pointless. Like, it's so pointless. So every so often, like every couple of days, I'll have one of my cheaper beers, and I'm like, it'll be beers that I know I've had before. I'm like, can I smell it? Not really. Can I taste it? Not really. And like you say, it's 70%. So when you want to do a beer review, you want to say, I can smell it's bitter, but is it like a roasted coffee bitter? Is it bitter chocolate? Is it? And then when there's like a sweet, is it a citrus sweet? Is it tropical passion? You just can't. You can't do it. I can say it's sweet, and I don't make notes on my reviews. I don't. It's not like I research the beer and then make a load of notes on it. I don't do that because I want it to be honest. So I just can't do beer reviews at the moment.
Right. I mean, I could I haven't drank in I don't know how many years, but I mean, there's some beers I could probably review from memory. But yeah, like you said, it's like if you're not actively drinking it right there with the full senses, why even bother? I mean, I'm getting drunk. Cheers, whatever.
Honestly, I was at this beer convention in Liverpool a couple of days ago. Like, and people are giving me beers, going, "What do you think of that?" And I'm like, honestly, mate, I was like, it might be good, it might be shit. I just don't know. I just don't know. Right, everybody, it's approaching 7 o'clock. I've got to go and cook dinner because my wife has been taking care of my daughter all day whilst I've been at work. Thanks, Joey, so much for coming on, mate. It's always easier when there's someone else there, and I appreciate it. If you don't know, Joey's podcast is the Square Table Degenerates podcast. He has some insane people on, people that are properly interesting. Thanks, Joey, for coming on, mate. I appreciate that.
For sure, man. For sure. Thanks for having me, brother. I'll see you guys.
Right, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I might be on with Paul later. If Paul does his live, he might not do his live. But yeah, who knows? If you see Paul's beer reviews go up live, boom, give it a click. See you later. Talk to you soon.
Oh, there you go.